Chris. How's it going? How's it going? Back with another watch list. Good to be back. Market open for one more day this week. And then the weekend is upon us. The big thing from from Wednesday was the gap down in quantum names. IONQ, the namely one. If you're scrolling through Twitter, a lot of people got smoked on this, trying to buy the gap down that never bounced. Well, I shouldn't say never bounced, but very difficult bounce to play. And then QSI, check out these dailies, gap down, Qubit, major gap down, RGTI, QBTS, a bunch of these things were down 50% at one point on the day, which is insane. You had Soon. I ended up missing this one just because I was looking to play it into prior day's resistance and it was gapping down below it. So it felt a bit too much like a chase for me, but ended up working nice. Bro has music today. What's going on, Timmy? MBOT, that plan worked pretty well for that 240 breakdown. If we look left, right through here, through this 240, 220 line, 240 was where most of the volume was. They put out another offering here in pre-market, right into 8 a.m., consolidated under 240, and then we got that 220 confirmation that came back and retested. So it was a nice daily failed fall through setup there on Wednesday. And Nito, I ended up losing on this one. If I can get a 1 minute of this day. So they put out a PR in the morning. Well, the news itself was a nothing burger, but just the fact that it had news, I think, was meaningful. So basically saying that they got an extension of their bid compliance deadline, so they get another 180 days. And for some reason it moved on it. But this key support level of the 130s was holding over it. So I had put on a starter here right before the open as it started curling. We got this week open, I bought, and then we got this low-a-day flush that I reacted to as well. So I got 1 entry, 2 entries, and then 3 entries, and was risking off these 130s that broke and failed to follow through. So I was cutting it there for about a 10-cent loser. It was holding near its lows, but nothing really meaningful, and then just steady grind, and out of nowhere this thing ripped right up to those mid twos. That was the goal from the watch list. If you recall, I was saying a fast enough parabolic move is likely a good short up into those resistances as well. So I was looking if I could get that move to be long and flip short into it, but ended up stopping out of my long before the move actually happened midday, 12 o'clock. So tough one, a bit frustrating, but is what it is. So yeah, those are the main two there from Wednesday. MBOT and Nito, a long and a short. PTT pulling back. Kit, this one's looking like same kind of thing as Nito. We're coming right into this volume profile level and prior resistance. So I like the looks of this one off of week opens. Would look for a similar setup here to Nito, using prior day's range as a guide. Dips versus prior day's lows. And look for it to start to build green. Hasn't gone green in 3 days. And we've got 8.2 million, plenty of dollar volume. Starting to pull and right off prior resistance. So I think this has good possibility for backside bounce. Fubo, this is exactly why I didn't like the short. The news just has too many longs behind it, whether it is meaningful or not. But when you put a big company in a press release like that, typically don't like to fight those. Box will have this one on a side radar as well for possible backside bounce, but the volume's kind of disappeared, so I'll just keep an eye, but volume's gone. Crazy. These kinds of moves are just wild. What's up, Golan? Jeff? Nice to see ya. A lot of familiar faces that pop in here, not a whole lot of newbies. Not a whole lot of new names. It's the same people, but that's good. Shows who wants it. Luke, what's up? Nito is nice for Bass Hunter. Really? Curious how you traded it. Very curious how you traded it. Because I don't really see... Like, even if I was on desk, I don't really see how I would have traded it. Because after the open... Like, I think even if I was on desk the whole day, I see this as one that I would have missed. The volume came in off the open, a lot higher than it was in prior days. If you zoom out, you can, if I can get rid of that, you can see this little blip, but like something like that. You can see some increased volume coming in right off the open. And then when it started to curl off the lows, this is super illiquid. Like it's nothing like this. And then when the volume did come in, like right around, in here, where it starts to pick up in the 150s, 160s, just like risk reward's terrible up there. Tell me, Bass Hunter, tell me how you did it. I want to learn too. Did you take a loss off the open at first? In at 120? But like, what's saying that this is the lows? Okay, yeah, okay, you did take a loss. Okay, that makes sense. If you tried a few times trying to hit bottoms, that makes sense. Maybe you try it off open, take a loss, consolidates here, take a loss, and then you get this bottom that double bottoms, and this is the one that ends up holding. That makes more sense. Yeah, okay, got it. Golan, yeah, took it off radar once it broke previous day's lows. Typically that's a failed, typically that fails. So I don't blame you. It broke after hours lows, prior days lows, pre-market lows. Like that's breaking every support level in mind. So Yeah, I think it was a tough one. I don't think it was easy to nail, so nothing I beat myself up over. What are your thoughts about the quantum stocks? Um, Not a whole lot of thoughts. Daily charts just seem kind of dead at this point. Um, I think the trade in this is going to be months down the line. I don't think there's really a whole lot in it for me like tomorrow immediately. It's just below every support level. Any pops I think get sold into. But I think the trade in it to be months down the line, I think will be a lot easier. Where either this ends up being the low for many months ahead, and then you get that big picture sector momentum move as it starts to reclaim. So that's one option. Or two, it fizzles out and this thing just starts to go 12, 6, whatever, 2, 3, and then one day puts out some quantum press release that heats them up, and then you get to short back into all this huge volume resistance overhead. So it either holds up or it fades off. I mean, that's nothing, that's not a call. It's what's going to happen. It's either going to go up or down. And but I think the opportunity for me is like months down the line. Jensen Huang from NVIDIA said it's a 10 to 15 years before being useful. Yeah. And you know what? Qubit and QBTS, they aren't going to be the ones that that take off from the quantum stuff. It's going to be some larger names. Could be IONQ. Likely is more NVIDIA directed for that kind of stuff. That one didn't even get wrecked as hard as a lot of the other ones. Yeah, Kerr, a lot of range there on Wednesday. It feels like Monday tomorrow. Feels like we just had a weekend. Very weird. But yeah, nice move. Excuse me. T-Pet, I was looking at this one. It was just a bit choppy, but we got that gap up shortened to resistance. $3 was the closing VWAP of that day, so I was looking for a bit higher, like a pre-market high clear out. Never came. I'm just trying to be a lot more picky. Like, I want to see it do what I want, or I'm not going to trade it, and then when it does what I want, put a bit more size in there. What I'm trying to do. In terms of stuff for tomorrow, I'm still running scans here, but I'm not seeing anything crazy. DATS got smoked pre-market, so that thing was gapping down like 50% by market open. You know that I can lose somebody, someone like you. You know my dream. GRRR. This looks good. Look at that 16 breakdown. Same setup that we just played on Soon. This is looking good. AI name, video intelligence, all that kind of stuff. This is the exact same setup that we just played on Soon. I haven't traded this name, but it's definitely an in-play name. Look at that, and look at that. right here through the 19s. A bit choppier. You got a few more wicks up and around through it. This one's cleaner, more obvious. But now you got a flush, double top, lower high, axis support off of 16. You get a push and big fail by close. So you get those top wicks, proving selling pressure. So that looks good for tomorrow. CVAC, what's this one? Meh. What else we got? You know that I can do somebody. Grove. Getting there. Hopefully it goes higher. There's a few names like that where they got kind of low volume, just starts coming in, speeding up. Energy sector's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I don't like to play guessing games like that. I'll let the sectors move, and then I'll start to pay attention once price proves. Thoughts for Kit or GFAI? Yeah, I like Kit. I don't love GFAI, where we have this gap down, push green, and then you get the gap down and fade. Dollar volume is a bit lighter. It just barely meets my volume requirement. And volume up here in the 280s. It's had like some pullbacks, high breaks. It's just not as clean of a backside trend. We're coming into the prior breakout level. So on like a gap down, that 180s could act as support. But I do prefer Kit just because it went on a multi-day run. The backside here has been a lot cleaner, more steady, and we're bouncing, or I shouldn't say bouncing, we're possibly bouncing off of the big volume profile level that lines up with the breakout. Where GFAI, this is a lot less volume, most of the volume's up here. So there's not a whole lot of support, there's more resistance, where Kit's the other way around. We're back into where most of the volume was. So I think it has a bit more ease of bounce, maybe back up into the 450s as a goal. So I like Kit better if I had to choose. But I do have that one on watch for tomorrow. Bounce on RGTI because it's oversold. What do I look for in a bounce? Yeah, it could. I don't think it's anything I really put money behind. This gap down and fade is now news driven. So I think the fundamental thesis behind what was pushing this thing higher this whole time has now changed. Kind of like when like Stockby always, when he's looking for episodic pivots, he's looking for names that have gone sideways or faded for a long time. And then they have, a company changing quarter that the earnings is just insane. You get massive volume, way bigger than any other day, and the price reacts positively. Or like the direction in which that company was going has changed. So I kind of see that with the quantum names, that everybody was buying this because the sector was going up. It was going to change the world. But as soon as the NVIDIA CEO went on, was it CNBC something, and said it was like 10 years out, that it wasn't coming anytime soon, then all these names just get smoked. So nothing I would want to bounce. like I said a few minutes ago, I think this is going to be like a few months out type of trade for me. Let it do its thing for now. Real? The real. Luxury goods. What is this company? Consignment of luxury goods. This must be American. Never heard of it. But it's coming into that little daily filled follow through here. It's kind of interesting. 850. What I would like is for this to put in a sideways day before breaking down, because now we're kind of like we've gone 10 straight down to 850. So if this broke 850 tomorrow, I think it would have a pullback, but not as severe as if this bounces back up to 920 tomorrow and chops within this range and then breaks it. But I'll keep it on watch. If the air starts coming out of a bunch of stocks, then this kind of setup, the daily filled follow through, is going to start working pretty well. It's just so many, so many fader names. Someone like you. Okie dokie. Oops. Serve, that daily's still intact with the robotics names. So you see, like how I was looking on these daily overextensions when I was looking at short names like MBOT a couple days ago. I wanted to see Serve confirm that thesis, which it has now, but now this one's had 2 red days. So this one could be a bounce watch. And if this starts bouncing tomorrow, I think Kit should bounce. I don't think I'd play this one, but it could. It looks like it should bounce. I'd like to bounce MBOT too, but it's had 2 offerings, so that kind of writes off that idea. Just added overhead supply when I'm already buying into overhead resistance. There's already bag holders, so I don't want more supply overhead. Fighting through paper and everything. My gainers scan has 20 stocks. My faders scan has 283. 24 pages of tickers. It's ridiculous. Just goes to show you, names got smoked on Wednesday. Wonder how's stuff like Apple, if I should start adding to some long-term stuff. There's definitely some fear out there. How's the SPY doing? Hasn't pulled back much. Costco, some pullback. Home Depot. I want to buy some Home Depot, some McDonald's, Coca-Cola I've thought about. I don't have a whole lot of like product names, because I find it's like, I think Apple's probably the only one, but it's just got such a moat of cash around it that it seems like impossible to fail. McDonald's, like I had a friend of a friend open up a Subway franchise, and they I think it was like $250,000 for the rights of it, and you still got to pay for your building and your reno and different things. So the cost of it's pretty high to open, but I'm like, you're opening a Subway. As long as you pick a spot with good traffic, like it's a proven business model. Everybody goes to Subway. So it's like opening a McDonald's franchise. Back in high school, I met the guy in my entrepreneurship class who owns all of the rights and franchises to the McDonald's around me. And he came in to talk to our entrepreneurship class. And I was just so intrigued by his business model because he wanted to be a restaurant guy, but he was, most restaurants fail in their first 5 years, like 90% failure rate in restaurants, probably 95%. So he's like, why would I try and start a restaurant? Why don't I just open a McDonald's? And they have a proven business model. So he opened one and it took off. He used the profits from that one, opened another one. I think he's got like 5 or 6 of them locally. But I remember chatting with them, and he was a cool guy. So these kinds of names just always intrigue me to own. I've never really bought them. Like Home Depot, for my construction stuff, I go into this place like daily. I remember back in like 2011, way back here, I think it was like $40. Yeah. Because I had started working back in like 2011, 2010, or 2011, 2012. And my dad's always been an investor. My family, my uncles and stuff have always told me to do stuff with your money. Don't just work and collect a paycheck. And back in these times, I wasn't making a lot. Like I just started working minimum wage. But if you can save $100, $500 and put it into something like this, he's like, just, buy 10 shares and next month buy another 10 shares. And I never did. But that was back there in the 40s. So it'd be a 10x. It took me up until like 2019, 2020 to start doing it. But I kind of want to own Home Depot too. How about some Nike? 5-year lows, well-known company worldwide. It's at the lows? My God. Do they pay dividends? NKE. Dividends 2%? Yep. % annual dividends. What do they pay? 40 cents a quarter? Yeah, I don't hate that idea. I own a lot of Nikes. I own more Adidas, actually. Adidas fits my foot better. Nike's a bit narrow, but... yeah, but that's one of those ones, right? Like you say, it's Chris, well-known company. And it's on sale. Crazy, from 180 down to 70. I think Under Armour is one of those ones too. Or like I could see Nike also doing this. Under UAA. Yeah, there we go. It goes from $50 down to $5. Like you could be into something like this as well. Love Home Depot. That's my primary. Late to the party. Chivo and Kit. Watch for first Green Day. Have a decent trade on Nito from 120. It's still at 170. Nicely done. Better than me. Costco 150 hot dog. Costco, the $1.50 hot dog loss leader going strong. And they've got the double chunk chocolate cookie. Don't forget about that. Oh, man. It's just like a lot of charts that are like C plus, B grade setups. That it's like more like 50-50 whether it happens. The chart pattern is there, but the odds of it happening are like 50-50. Like something like AMPX. Goes on a multi-day run, a lot lower intraday volatility, coming into its prior breakout level here in the high twos. But it's like, there's so many of those. Like everything is fading. My fader scanner is lit up. So like everything is pulling back. Do I want to try and bounce stuff? Or would I just prefer to look for daily failed follow through setups and just join those? Probably. Stuff and Such likes Costco pizza. How about the chicken bake? Boom! Yeah. I think I'm probably gonna leave it there. Not gonna try and force nothing. Give me a moment. I'm getting some messages. Let me just... XTIA reverse split tomorrow will be a 1 for 250 or how would you say it, 250 to 1 for 250 reverse split. So it's going to be trading 250 times its closing price of 5 cents. 25 times 5 is like $12.50. So this will be trading at a ridiculous price. You can see what happened when it was trading just 20 cents. But this one used to be INPX, I believe. This was actually one of my first big gains back here. This one did a reverse split pump. It was INPX and RSLS, I remember. But this one was a habitual diluter. Let me see here. 2019, I think it was. Yeah, right here. They had a reverse split somewhere around here. and ended up nailing that move. But I believe that this is the new XTIA, if I'm not mistaken. So just knowing the chemical makeup of the stock itself, like if CEI gets going, then you know it should fail. Like, look at this. Take me back to times like this where you get multi-day beautiful run-ups. Man. Yeah, I like what Kyle said reviewing the quantum names recently. So like up here, this one's a better example, where it keeps breaking out and stuffing through new highs, but it's still breaking to new highs. Where you get this parabolic, it pulls back. Shorts are holding for lower, it consolidates, it keeps going. You get this parabolic, pulls back, shorts are holding, looking for lower. So each time it's like short crowded on the front side. And then shorts get this gap down, and longs are looking for these gap down washouts as buying opportunities. Each dip along the front side were buying opportunities that got bought up. So now you just get a huge discount. So anyone who is fighting it short is covering, and longs are looking for a dip buy. But the selling overwhelmed that buying side of things. And I think all along here, and Kyle agrees that it now went from a short crowded on the front side of that daily to now long crowded from today, as you can see by the lack of bounce. So it's more of a distribution of longs that I think creates a lot of resistance. A lot of guys watching Fannie Mae too, but I don't really trade OTCs much anymore. If they start going crazy again, like I will, but I'm not gonna start scanning for OTCs just to catch one in the last years. So plans for tomorrow are likely real, looking for that 850 breakdown right through there. Daily failed follow through setup ideally holds up tomorrow and can get that trade on Monday. But if it starts breaking and failing, I'll be forced to trade it. GRR, this is kind of what I want on real, is like a push and inside day, so that once it breaks, it'll be fairly convincing. So if this can break and build below 16, I think you get a fairly good washout there. This is good, failed follow through distribution into the 18s. So as long as 16 acts heavy, could see lower there. Fubo, technically this will be a breakout. This could be seen as like an episodic pivot, changing the direction for this company in the future with Disney working with it. So technically it is a breakout. Don't know if I really want to play it, but see how it acts through 6 if it gets there. We'll keep it on watch. And Kit, probably the only backside bounce in the robotics sector. We've got a lot of volume profile support here. Prior resistance possibly becoming support. We've got this consolidation level, so we'll use prior day's lows as a guide. And I think this has room back up to the 450s for possible backside bounce. So a few failed follow through daily ideas, and then backside bounce, possible listed long, but we'll see how it goes. What are your thoughts on discipline? What does being disciplined feel like for you? I like the way you do it. Discipline for me is, I think Will Smith said it the best, where the easiest way to define discipline is self-love. How much you care about yourself, how much you're going to put away delayed gratification to not get what you want now, but to love yourself enough to stay disciplined to get what you want in the future. To keep doing what's necessary, knowing what's right to keep doing, and keep doing it whether it's showing itself, showing results or not, but to wake up each day, do the same thing over and over, and nothing happen, and wake up the next day to do it again. Mental toughness, self-love, I'd say would be how I'd define discipline. How's it going, Ringle? What's up, what's up? Luke's calling RGTI at 6. Good luck. But, yeah. Those ones I went over, those will be my watches going into tomorrow. A reminder, it is a Friday, even though it feels like Monday tomorrow. But all good. I think we'll leave it there. Thank you guys for stopping by. Those you and I will see you over in the room tomorrow. Trade them well. We got plenty a year ahead of us, so don't beat yourself up if you're not doing too well right now. But try your best. Show up every day. Get in where you fit in. Make some memories. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.